Hello everybody, welcome to another quick video. Now, you find us today in Hornsey, and I've kind of got a new lens again. And this is a bit special. This is the Leica Lumix 15mm f1.7, and it's a little bit special because it's very much based on a genuine Leica setup. So you've got a separate aperture ring as well as your focus. It's built like a tank and it's crystal clear. So we're going to have a bit of a wander around. I've opted for the full Leica experience because the equivalence from this is as near as, damn it, without spending thousands, to a Leica Q, the original 20 megapixel one. So we're in L Monochrome D, and let's go and see what we can get, shall we? So what makes this so special? Essentially, it's the only one in the range that you've actually got. I don't know, you can make that out, a completely separate aperture ring. So if you wanted to shoot manual, you could have your aperture on there, your shutter speed on your front dial, your ISO on your back, and you've got full control over everything you could need on the camera, which is quite unique. It's something that you normally don't tend to get. So I figured I'd splash out a bit, go for this, because the GX-9, frankly, it's become my favourite camera at the moment. It's really enjoyable. The L Monochrome D is basically the L Monochrome, but a bit more dynamic. They sort of push and pull a little bit more, but you still got that Leica look. With the Leica glass on as well, it is glorious. It is crystal clear. Now, it's a shame that YouTube actually compresses things quite so hard as it does, because these images are absolutely bob on that I'm seeing coming out of the camera. I'm really blown away with what I'm seeing, literally just the quick snaps I'm doing. All the images on this one will be direct from camera JPEGs. I'll just throw a border around just to complete it. So everything you see is direct out of camera on this. Using the lens to its full sort of capability, it's so easy to actually change the aperture on there. So much so, it's like I'm actually using that more than switching it, because you can actually set it to auto. You take this right to the end and you have an auto setting as well. But it basically gives you so much control, and being the Leica glass, it really is good. Now, a few people have said to me, try this 15mm. It really is a game changer for sort of the area. It gives you an equivalent sort of full frame of 30mm. The Leica Q is 28mm. It's as near as damn it what you're getting, but it's a lovely sort of feel, and frankly the field of view is great on it. Another feature is the lens hood, which is metal and shaped quite unusually, but it just gives you quite a nice little sort of glare reduction technique. It's quite a nice feel to it. Now, you can actually get these 15mm rebranded as DJI. Panasonic and Leica actually work with DJI for some of their sort of Mark IV third setups that they've run. So you can actually get one, and it's got a little bit of extra coating for the anti-glare, but it's not quite as clean from what I've seen. But it does work out a lot cheaper. But I fancied the silver to match the camera, so I went with the Leica one. Now, as you can tell, we've got some fairly windy conditions, but the clouds are beautiful. And one of the features that you do tend to find when you've got nice blue skies like this is quite high up, you do get quite a lot of sort of dark blues, but it fades as you get to the horizon. Now, when you're running monochrome, that can really help you out, because you get a real accentuation between the lighter horizon area and then further up into there. So it's a little thing that I quite like doing. It almost sort of self-vignettes, almost puts its own little sort of gradient filter on. I quite like the effect you get, especially if you've got clouds like this. If it's too cloudy, it doesn't work, but when you've got what I call sort of the Simpson skies effect, it works nicely. So grab a quick shot. It can be minimal as anything, so literally bottom third of the sea, the rest of it sky. I'll put that out now for you. So, as always seems to happen when we walk outside the door, wind gets up. But it's such a bright day, you know, using this f5.6 f8 all day long, not a problem at all. That's when I'm shooting most of it. Did a quick shot inside the cafe earlier, just stopped down to f1.7. Basically a cake stand looking out the window. I think it works all right. It's just little bits that you can do. But hopefully be able to get a few little bits and bobs that will actually work quite nicely. I'm treating it as almost like a street session with a bit of coastal thrown in. I'm not doing long exposure stuff, but there's a lot of young gulls and stuff like that around, so yeah, just catching it. Obviously at 30mm equivalent, you've got to think about sort of the sizing and the framing and stuff like that, so you can't go, you know, completely mad. Zoom with your feet sort of thing all the day long, but it's such a nice focal length. It is very much a case of looking at things and you'll get a similar sort of effect through the lens. So it's that sort of focal range. Certainly sort of the field of view feels very, very natural when you're using it. Now what I tend to do with this, although I have got the viewfinder for occasions when I need it, most of this is sort of shot through the viewfinder. So yeah, most of it's sort of holding it up, adjusting, messing around with the angles. Using the GX-9, you've got the tilting screen so I can do things above and shoot from the hip. It's an ideal sort of street setup, but it's versatile enough because you've got a great sensor in here, and frankly this Monochrome D just keeps on impressing me. Everything I'm doing with it, it just looks really nice. It kind of feels like one of my edits, if that makes sense. So yeah, well worth a shot. Right, going to crack on down a little bit more because at the minute I've been eaten by flies, so let's get a move on. So obviously we've got quite a bright day going on, which means lots of contrast. It means I can't really shoot too close, we're sort of pointing in towards the sun, because you're just going to get glare everywhere. It blows everything out, it sort of ruins the effect. But it casts a lot of shadows, which is nice. It gives you something to play with. Obviously I'm looking around for sort of the odd people just basically going about the business. Like I said, I'm treating it as sort of a half street session, just playing essentially, just capturing scenes. Obviously with the fixed focal length, you've got to sort of think about what you're shooting. Yes, you can sort of shoot towards the sun, you can get some lovely effects with the clouds at the moment, but just over there, there's a couple just sort of sitting on the beach. There we go, grab that. As I said though, everything is going to be straight out of camera, just with a bit of a border on just to close them off, so it's sort of, you can see the edge of the image. That's the reason to do it. So you're seeing warts and all, you're seeing everything framed, nothing's going to be cropped, so everything is how I'm framing things while I'm actually out and about. I just need to turn around because it's getting a bit bright up there. So we've got, right at the moment, the sea fairly well in. It's not right the way in, so you've got something to play with. Obviously I can't do any of the super zoom stuff that I'm usually doing, but there's options that we can play with, and it gives us a few little things, even sort of stupid things like this. There's like a bolt latch on there. Throw that as a blurred out foreground without the background. Yeah, you can sort of frame stuff up, and it kind of works. Yeah, play, enjoy, and just have a bit of a mess with it. I've got to admit, I'm loving the 30mm equivalent. It might be something that I was looking for. Obviously I've used the 25mm Leica quite a lot, and that's a brilliant lens. I've used the 9mm, that's a brilliant lens. I've got the 45, I've actually got one in the bag as well. So yeah, it's right. But this seems to sit right in a sweet spot for me. A lot of people said like it makes the perfect sort of street lens. I can kind of see why. This focal length is really nice. So let's talk cost, shall we? Lens itself, got from MPB, used, good condition, $349. You can still buy them new you're looking about 500. So yeah, it's not a cheap lens, but using it you can see why you're paying for the clarity of the glass. This is real top level glass. It's not weather sealed, but then again, neither is the GX-9, so it wasn't really a consideration for me. But I mean, consider GX-9 in very good condition lens, which to be fair, the MPB grading, it's in incredibly good condition. You're looking at under £1,000 if you sort of incorporate things like your memory card, your batteries, the grip that I've added to it. You're sort of still under £1,000. Let's say you want to go out and buy a Leica Q. They start, if you look at, about £1,900 to £2,000. You're going to get more for it? I don't think you're going to get much more than you're getting with this. What you are going to get is the ability to sort of flash around and show, look at a Leica. That's about it. This GX-9 was the first of the GX series that didn't actually come with the Leica monocle on it. So that puts in perspective exactly what you are buying when you buy a Mark 4 Thirds Lumix like this. You're getting essentially Leica tech because they work closely with Leica to make the cameras, which is why the Leica lenses exist with the Panasonic branding. So yeah, you may be shooting Lumix, but effectively you're still shooting a Leica. I suppose the other thing that you've got to consider as well is you've got essentially, it's a jacket pocket, but it's a pocketable camera system. So it could make an ideal street setup. Like I said, I'll be playing a little bit today, semi-streetish. I mean, literally we've come to the coast. Trace hasn't been great, had an operation a week or so ago, so it's basically I wander out to the seaside, a bit of a treat. And I thought, right, I'll bring it out and have a bit of a mess with it. And I've been absolutely blown away. Wasn't sure exactly what I was going to expect from it, but it's absolutely blown me away. The clarity of the images off this, I've actually transferred a couple already and had a look on the phone, actually had a good zoom in. It's clean as anything, it's absolutely tack sharp, beautiful. The old Monochrome D is astounding. Yeah, frankly, I don't see why, other than the fact that you get the badge snobbery, why you'd actually go for a Leica Q. I'd say this is as good. So ergonomically, it's not bad at all. You've got a reasonably damped manual focus ring. It's just focused by wire, but that pairs up quite nicely with the Lumix camera. It knows how to deal with it. Stick yourself on AFS mode, and the way I've got this set up, it'll actually automatically zoom in. It actually gives you peaking as well, so you know if you're actually in focus manually. Quite handy. Obviously, the aperture ring is fantastic. It's very, very tactile. You can't sort of miss time. You can't sort of just accidentally catch it and be out, because how it's situated behind the hood, it's quite well protected. But it means you've got, as I said before, full access to all the features if you wanted to. You can stick this in manual mode. You've got aperture there, shutter speed there, you can assign ISO to the back. You've also got your exposure compensation that you can mess around with as well. It's all to hand if you want to shoot that way, which is really, really nice. It's unusual to get something that gives you that much versatility all in one package. Now you might be thinking, well, you've already got the 12 to 32 that you've been raving about. It's a clean lens. But the thing I wanted from this is the fact I can go to f1.7, because if it gets dark, going wide open can really help you out. It means you can let more light in. Obviously the beauty about Mark 4 Thirds is you've got the depth of field, which is a plus and a minus. You get a better depth of field for the same sort of aperture essentially. So at f1.7 I'd still be getting a reasonable sort of about f3.2ish effect, possibly up to f4 on a full frame, but I'm still getting all that light in. So in lower light conditions, it means I can drop the ISO, still get great depth of field when I need it, and the clarity will still be there, which is what appealed to me. Yes, the 12 to 32 is a built-in lens, but it is a variable aperture, and it basically means that you have to think a little bit more as to which way round you're doing things if the light does drop away. Whereas with this, it just gives you that little extra few steps ahead that you don't need to worry about that side of it. And assume you can hear me over the gulls, which are being quite leery. Obviously the other thing you don't get with this is the dual IS that you do get with the 12 to 32. Swings and roundabout. The IS is very good in this. You've got the 5-axis, very, very similar to the OM1. Maybe not quite as advanced, but very, very similar. So it's still good enough to do general shots. Certainly I'm not going to worry about doing, you know, sort of my usual sort of 30-odd second shots that I do with the OM1 with a 12 to 100 on. You're not going to be able to do that. It's a simple matter of physics. You need the Sync IS from the OM that, frankly, even after using the Panasonic one, it's not a patch on what the OM1 does. It's just that difference in the system. But for general use, I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. Certainly, when you're in bright conditions like this, and I've been struggling sometimes with the shutter speed getting down to the 4,000th of a second and it backing off, I have to let it stop down a little bit to sort of compensate for it. So yeah, bright conditions, it'll handle it all day long without any issue at all. But it's just something, yeah, keep in mind if you are doing sort of the lower light. You've just got to bear that in mind. You've got to be a little bit more mindful. I can't just snap away like I would do with the 12 to 100. And these guys are being stupidly noisy now, so I'm going to carry on wandering up and I'll see you in a minute. So we'll finish the video here. Hopefully that's been insightful for you to see, you know, you can get what's effectively a Leica Q in a smaller sort of censored system. Yes, you're not getting the full frame sensor, but you are getting a built-in sensor, fantastic camera software, some real nice Leica customizations built in, even though it's not got the badge on it, and a fantastic Leica lens. I know which one I'd choose, but it's up to you. What do you think? Would you actually operate a Leica Q over one of these, considering the cost difference? Let me know, see what you think. But if it has been useful for you on this video, please do hit the like button. Really helps out the channel. And if you're not subscribed, hit subscribe. It's free of charge, but it helps me out no end. But from a very breezy, very sunny, and quite pleasant Hornsey in East Yorkshire, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. Take care.
It's 2 AM and I can't fall asleep, 'cause I'm not tired. I'm thinking about the days we used to shine when we were young. I told you that we should start a band and reach for the sky. It's 2 AM and I can't fall asleep, I'm just not tired. I can hear the raindrops falling. It's cold outside, and I kinda feel like calling, but it's too late now. I just miss you. I just miss you. We were such a constellation, right? No, you'd agree. Made a reputation for ourselves at age 18. We had the devil on our shoulders telling us what we should do. I wonder if you think fall asleep. I'm just not tired.